All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. It's a brother Isaiah from the Pittsburgh GMS camp, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahahakwadash. Lord, whether this is edifying. All right. And so like I had did a lesson, the mic wasn't on. Here we go again, but hopefully, it's more compact. I was kind of going with the spirit, only had a few precepts. Now I got a few more and I've done a little more, but let's get into this, right? So basically I'm gonna start off here. Okay, the title, the topic is dealing with differences in personalities with regards to this truth. All right, okay, because this truth can be very let's just say dealing with people. Anybody who's had a little experience in this world can tell you dealing with people, okay, can be a very delicate balance, okay, especially if you're one who's mindful of how you affect others. And if you have ever had to be in a leadership position where members needed to work together, there's things that have to be considered, and they actually train people on this different stuff, all right, in college and so on and so forth. Hebrews 12:14 is where I'll start. It says, follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord. Okay, so we're supposed to follow peace with all men, okay, especially in this truth, particularly in this truth, okay, particularly now, of course, in this world, it does say all men, so all Israelites, okay, and even too, the scriptures say, be, what does it say? Agree with thine adversary when thou art in the way with him. So, if this was my kingdom, then with my servants fight. So you want to be, at peace as much as possible, which is going to lead me to my next precept. This is just where I'm starting off, Romans 12. Also in the 12th chapter, Romans 12:18 says, if it be possible, matter of fact, let's see this. This is going into what I want to go into later. I'm going to have to keep this up. I'm gonna just get right back to verse 18. It says, if it be possible, as much lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. Okay, and I'm gonna put this as a precept. Okay, all right, Romans 12:13 must go over here as a precept. It's a lot. And we're gonna get into that. All right, so let's go back over here. Right, so basically, an aspect I want to go into with it, and we'll see where the spirit takes me. If it's too long or whatever the case may be, a salaki, but I don't plan on going too deep into it. I'm just probably stick on certain topics. Now, this here is an article going into. Said the title is Top Soft Skills Employers Value with Examples. Now, we know that this truth is likened unto a business. Okay, we have talents that we have to flip. Okay, we've been given these money. Okay, and we've been made to flip these talents by Yahweh Shai, as the parable puts forth. So this is a business. Okay, this is the business of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. He is our employee, and there are certain skills that are desirable by employees, okay, in order for their business to flow fluently, and what they look for in characteristics of employees. Okay, and these are just some of them, and these can be applied to the truth, of course, where it makes sense. Okay, so let's read this. It says, candidates with strong soft skills are in high demand for many different types of jobs. What are soft skills and why are they important? Soft skills are the interpersonal attributes you need to succeed in the workplace. They are how you work with and relate to others. In other words, people skills. Okay, soft skills are people skills. And believe it or not, you need people skills even in this truth. Okay, of knowing how to deal with each other, knowing how to maneuver through certain situations. Okay, you need those type of skills in order that you may, just like I said, like that you may be able to seek that peace with all men. Let's keep reading. Soft skills are the skills that enable you to fit in at a workplace. Okay, and the scriptures talk about us. Right. Okay. Now, of course, the spirit is the first and foremost driving factor. Okay, but Ephesians 4. All right. Ooh, yeah. let's see. I'll just read verse 15. But speaking, matter of fact, 14, it says that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. But speak the truth in love. But speaking the truth in love may grow up into him in all things, which is the head, even Hamashiach, from whom the whole body fitly joined together, Salakia, and compacted by that which every joint supplieth, according to the effectual working in the measure of every part, maketh increase of the body unto the edifying of itself in love. You see? So basically what it's saying here is that every joint supplieth something to the overall forwarding and benefit of the body. Okay, and there's different examples. I'm going to actually be in one of those chapters at some point, but there's different examples of how it tells you that these different parts contribute to the overall health of the body, unless they be corrupt, and then in that case they have to be cut off. But it's a very delicate balance that must be stricken when we're dealing with whether or not a part is corrupt. And we also have to take into mind egos, and also take into mind the fact that some brothers just ain't gonna mesh, and a person might rub you a wrong way, but the Lord may have chosen that man. He may not get cast out just because you don't like him or you have a disagreement. These are things that have to be considered, and going into interpersonal skills deals with the different nuances, or I'm always using some damn words, man. Curse what I've been taught now. Salakia, nuance, nuance. How the fuck you spell nuance? Okay, there we go. Okay, a slight or delicate degree of difference in expression, feeling, or opinion. You see, so there's gonna be slight differences in expressions or opinion. Brothers is going to teach differently, but they still teaching the right thing. You see, brothers is going to have different ways of expressing and different opinions, and that's also depicted in the scriptures, but I ain't going to necessarily pull that up. I just probably quote it a little bit, howbeit every one of you have a doctrine of this or that, it should not be so, but we should all speak the same things. I may have to grab it because it's it's not the doctrine part that I'm focusing on. 1 Corinthians 1, okay, and 10, it says, now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, that ye all speak the same thing, and that there be no divisions among you, but that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment. So this is the way that it should be. Okay, now there is I can't find it. Everyone has an interpretation. It should so. But why is it so hard to find this? Yeah. 1 Corinthians 14. Okay, 1 Corinthians 14. And 26, it says, how is it then, brethren, when ye come together, every one of you hath a psalm, hath a doctrine, hath a tongue, hath a revelation, hath an interpretation, let all things be done unto edifying. So basically, when brothers come together, brothers may have different things on their spirits. You know what I'm saying? This one brother, he got a psalm, that's on his mind, or this brother got a doctrine he may want to go into. You know what I'm saying? This brother want to go into tongues, and this brother got a revelation, and this brother got an interpretation. It says, let all things be done unto edifying. You know what I'm saying? So there's different spirits. Brothers may have different things going on in their mind that they may want to do, but this is why the Most High set up order. It says, let all things be done unto edifying. So I'll give you an example. Let's say we come to camp, and there's on this one particular brother's spirit that he want to go into a particular topic for that day. Okay, but let's say that the camp leader, okay, decides that through the spirit that he wants to go into a different topic. So if both of them brothers decide that they want to do what they want to do, then effectively they're not rightly fitting together at that particular moment. Okay, things are not going to be done to edifying if both of them will continue to be adamant about what they want to do. There's going to be a contention. Okay, so it should not be so. Okay, in these particular cases, which I was quoting it a little wrong, but still, okay, and still is telling you right there, okay, that let all things be done unto edifying. Okay, so that's the point. All right, things have to be done unto edification. So like you for that, I couldn't find it right away. Okay, so yeah, I got that. Rightly fitted together, being compacted by the thing which each joint supplieth, so every man in this truth has something to offer. Okay, especially if the Lord has chosen them. All right, so let's get back to this this list here. All right, what are soft skills? Okay, let's get back. Okay, yeah, soft skills are the skills that enable you to fit in at a workplace. They include your personality, your attitude, your flexibility, your motivation, and your manners. So these are the things that come into play when you're dealing with other people. Your personality. What type of personality do you have? Do you have the type of personality where you may come off as being an asshole? Do you have the type of personality where you may come off as being a know-it-all? You have to be able to realize that and play accordingly, I mean, if I were to and we have to be honest with ourselves. If I was to look at myself, I would say some people might think I'm a know-it-all. I don't know everything. I know I don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like one of those things where it's like, you have to be mindful of how you may come off to other people. Your attitude. How do you deal with rebuke? How do you deal with correction, which goes in line with rebuke? How do you deal with life? Do you take things that are happening with you? Do you take them out on other people? Your attitude has a lot to do with how your day is gonna go. There's something I learned back in in the world before I came into the truth, just through different experience I had. It says that there was a saying that said that how your day goes is 10% of the things that happen to you and 90% of how you react to them. And this is very true, because you go through things, okay, in life. You're gonna go through things, but how you react to them is gonna dictate your attitude for the day. If you react to them in a manner of, I'm gonna hold on to this thing, I'm gonna be angry about this thing, I don't want to let it go, then, like I said, that's going to dictate how your day is going to go, and it's going to dictate the mood for the rest of the day. You see, flexibility. Are you flexible? Are you rigid? Are you able to deal with different things that may happen? Are you able to roll in the spirit? Because sometimes things are going to happen. Sometimes there will be time constraints, and sometimes there's going to be things that will happen where the spirit will have things happen a certain way. Are you able to roll with those punches of what the spirit may be calling for? The spirit may be calling for certain delays and certain things of that nature. It just all depends on how the spirit rolls with a particular situation, and you have to be flexible. Okay, just a mindset. Motivation. How are you motivated? What motivates you? We had a situation one time at camp where this guy, he wanted to go into what he wasn't perceiving what was going on through the spirit, and he wanted to talk about what he wanted to talk about. Well, what happened? Well, that wasn't what the spirit was going into, and he ended up getting kicked out the camp that day. Well, really, he didn't even get kicked out the camp. He left. He wanted to leave. And so he wasn't being. His motivation didn't seem to be. He was a little too zealous, and his motivation wasn't in the right place. Okay, and manners, respect. How you approach each other, how we talk to each other, how we deal with each other. Okay, and it's truth. Soft skills are so important that they are often the reason employers decide whether to keep or promote an employee. Okay, so it's a very deep thing. Okay, so let's just get a precept. Okay, see if I got anything. Boom. So there's this particular situation, which I'm gonna pull it right here. Particular situation where I'm going to give you an interaction between two men of the Lord and just kind of show you how it kind of played out just briefly, and just speak about some of these things. Acts 15:39 says, "And some days after Paul said unto Barnabas, Let us go again and visit our brethren in every city where we have preached the word of the Most High, and see how they do. And Barnabas determined to take with them John, whose surname was Mark. But Paul thought not good to take him with them. So I don't know why Paul said he didn't think it was good to bring Mark, but for whatever reason, it was on Paul's spirit to not bring Mark. Okay, whether and we're men, and we're subject to have different things mess with us in the flesh. Who knows? Now, who knows if Paul had a legit reason to not want to bring him, or if Paul just didn't like him? Who knows? I don't know. It says, but Paul thought it not good to take him with them, who departed from them from Pamphylia, and went not with them to the work. Okay. All right. And the contention was so sharp between them that they departed asunder the one from another. So Barnabas took Mark and sailed unto Cyprus, and Paul chose Silas and departed, being recommended by the brethren unto the grace of the Most High. And he went through Syria and Cilicia, confirming the churches. Okay. I may have to read more up on this. It looks like it's saying that Mark might have left from them. All right, Shalom. Just real quick, I went and read up on it. Okay, now I understand why I was having that thought. Okay, when I read Acts 15. Okay, because it said it right there, but I had to go read it just to confirm exactly what happened and why Paul was feeling how he felt. So the reason Paul didn't want John, who was surnamed Mark, to come with them is in Acts 15:39. And once again, okay, matter of fact 38, but Paul thought not good to take with them who departed from them from Pamphylia. Okay, so basically John didn't come with them, and so Paul was like, I don't want to take him with me, because he didn't go with us to go do the work when we was in Pamphylia. So here goes that account in 13, Acts 13. Okay, and 13 says, now when Paul and his company loosed from Paphos, they came to Perga in Pamphylia, and John departing from them returned to Jerusalem, or to Jerusalem. Okay, so John left them when they went to Pamphylia, and so Paul was like, I don't want him to come with us, So I just went and looked that up so I could clarify exactly what that was about. All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and finish editing the video now. Shalom. From Pamphylia and didn't go with them, so maybe he was like, well, he didn't come with us. I'll have to read more into that. Okay, so but verse 39 it says, and the contention was sharp, so they had a disagreement, and he was like, I don't want him to come with me for whatever the purpose was, and they decided, what, we're just gonna split ways because of that. In that aspect, it was a wise thing to do, because the work wouldn't have been able to get done the way it needed to get done because of the problems that they was facing, the feelings that was had between each other, the bad blood or the disagreements of opinion. Okay, and so being able to discern different things and work together, and also being able to realize when you can't. That's why that Romans came in, as much as life within you be at peace with all men. You see? So let's read a few more of these things, right? I'm gonna skip this. Okay, I'll read this. A soft skill will be the ability of the carpenter to communicate effectively with co-workers and clients. Okay, regardless of the job which you are applying at, you need to have at least some soft skills. In order to succeed at work, you must get along well with all the people with whom you interact, including managers, blah blah blah. These are the type of skills all employees value. Okay, effectively, below is a list of the most important soft skills. The list includes sub-lists related to soft skills. Develop these skills and emphasize them in job applications, blah blah blah. How well do you communicate? Communication skills are important. You need to communicate with all. So yeah, we got to be able to communicate and understand how to communicate properly. Employers want employees who can not only communicate. Yeah, here we go. Employers want employees who can not only communicate their own ideas, but who also listen empathetically to others. Listening is particularly important in customer service jobs. Now, listening empathetically. Okay, so I want to highlight that empathetic section. That word empathetic. Let me get this right here. Okay. Boom. Now, let me let me just copy the link here and paste it. Okay. Boom. All right, so this is what I was able to find. Empathize. Okay, it says to understand and share the feelings of another. You see, to understand and share the feelings of another is how you empathize. All right, Shalom once again. I had marked down a precept in the beginning. I didn't get a chance to really go into it. All right, but basically the precept was this Romans 12. Okay, and I just read about empathy, right? And so Romans 12 kind of goes into empathy. I didn't bring it out in my original lesson, but since I'm editing it, I figured I'd go ahead and grab this Romans 12 and okay. Let's get Romans 12 and I'll start at 14. It says, bless them which persecute you, bless and curse not. And of course that's dealing with them in this truth. You know, good example is King David, how he dealt with King Saul. You know, Saul wanted to kill him. Okay, and that's a very extreme case, but Saul wanted to kill him, and King David, he did not curse him. He basically, you know, he treated him as one of the Lord's anointed, even though the Lord was forsaking him at that time. Okay, but because the Lord had chosen him, he took a righteous path of, or maybe King David was thinking in his mind that maybe the Lord will allow him to repent. Who knows what the thought process was? But let's continue. Verse 15 says, rejoice with them that do rejoice and weep with them that do weep. Okay, and this goes directly into that empathy, being empathetic. Okay, you rejoice with them that rejoice, you weep with them that weep. Okay, you basically, you know, you bear each other's burdens. Okay, verse 16, be of the same mind one toward another. Mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceit. So basically, don't be too high-minded. Don't be high and mighty of certain things. You know, if you know, and you know, you got to play everything by the Spirit. But you know, we're here to be here for each other. And if there's a sincere brother that needs you, you know, just you got to be there for the bro. You know, that's what the Lord would want you to do, is be there for that brother, man. You know, so I just want to go into that. All right. You know, and so yeah, be peace with all men. Hey, shalom. Okay, and so let's get a precept going into how to be able to empathize with each other, because the thing about empathy is being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Let's look at that again. It says to understand and share the feelings of another. So what does it mean by understanding and sharing someone's feelings? You have to be able to, like I said, put yourself in their shoes. Look at what the situation is going on and understand why they may be motivated the way they are, which is also going to let me get this precept. Sirach or Ecclesiastes 5:15 says, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. Okay, so there may be situations where you have to try to determine why a brother may be doing something that he may be doing. Okay, why is he doing that? Is it because he's being wicked, or maybe it's because he doesn't know how to deal with certain things? Maybe he doesn't know how to express himself. Maybe he doesn't realize that he shouldn't be doing that, you know. And this has to be the level that we think on when we're dealing with the little ones, okay, because we don't want to offend the little ones. All right, but there's also has to be a point in time where, you know, judgment does have to be properly executed when somebody's really going off. Okay, but it can take a lot. It can take a certain level of spiritual discernment and emotional discernment to realize why somebody's doing something. And sometimes, a lot of times, you have to take your feelings out of the way in order to be able to deal with the situation, because it might be something happen where you like, man, your flesh might get offended, but you still have to have that moment of, well, why is this? Is there another reason why this person is doing this, or is it what I think it is? You know, sometimes you see a situation and somebody is being, for lack of a better term, maybe they're being a nigga about it, but there comes that decision of determining whether or not they are being a nigga about a situation, which is like Apostle Har always says, you know, the Spirit's gonna find you out if you ain't right. And that's true. Sometimes it is, if you can't discern it. Sometimes it is just best to let the Spirit deal with that situation. Okay, but you know, for the people who can handle that other undertaking, then it's also good to have the thoughts of, well, why may this situation be happening? Okay. So empathize right there. So let me get the precept here. All right. So that empathize, like I said, understand and share the feelings. Okay. 1 Corinthians 12:20 says, but now are they many members, but yet one body. Okay. And the eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee, nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you. Nay, much more, those members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary. Okay. Right. Now let me go down, okay, to the point that I want. Okay, verse 24 says, "For our comely parts have no need, but the Most High have tempered the body together, having given more abundant honor to that part which lack, if there should be no schism in the body, but that the members should have the same care one for another." Okay, schism. Okay, let's get that word for schism. 1 Corinthians 12. All right. Whoops. Salakia. See here. 1 Corinthians 12. Be no schism. All right. Let's play it.
Strong's G 4978. Schisma.
Schisma. A rent, metaphorically a division or a dissension. Okay, so that there's no division or dissensions within the body. Okay. All right, that there should be no schism in the body, but that the members should have the same care one for another. And whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it, or one member be honored, all the members rejoice with it. You see? And so it goes back into that, being able to understand and share the feelings of others, of another, in this truth. You have to be able to understand why a brother may be doing what they're doing and share that feeling. And, you know, like I said, put yourself in their shoes. Like, oh, damn, that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? That's fucked up that, you know, that happened to you. You know, it's a lot. I'm sorry about that. You know, can I help you? You know what I'm saying? And it's just an aspect of brotherly love that has to be developed. And of course, you have to be also careful too, because you don't want to do it for somebody that may be being a nigga. You know, so it's definitely a balance, you know, that has to go forth. Okay. All right. But let's just get into this too. You know what I'm saying? Another aspect of it, because we like going into the aspect I just mentioned of being able to judge the situation. We have to realize and remember that there are going to be brothers underneath us. You know, different brothers, let me just say, different brothers in general have different levels of things that they can receive all around. You know, there may be certain things that you may be able to get down with, okay, and have a certain grasp of, and other people may not have that same grasp, okay, and you have to be mindful of that as well, and not get high-minded, and also not judge harshly based off of certain situations. You know, you can't judge harshly, okay, off of a man that the Lord have received. Okay, first I'm gonna read this, Romans 14:1. It says, "Him that is weak in the faith receive ye, but not to doubtful disputations." Okay, so that word there, doubtful disputations. Okay, let's get the first one. It says, this first one for doubtful is
Strong's G 1261.
Dialogismas, and you can see the root word going into like dialogue, right? Dialogue. Okay, let's make sure this is the right one for doubtful this G1261. Yeah, G1261. It says, thinking of a man deliberating with himself, inward reasoning with the purpose or design, or questioning about what is true, hesitation, or disputing or arguing. So let's get that other word, okay, which is disputation, which is G1253. G1253 says, distinguishing or discerning a judge. Okay, so not with, okay, so let's read it again. Him that is weak in the faith receive ye, but not to, or not with doubtful disputations, not with hesitation and judging, you know, not judging too harshly, basically, man. You know, disputing and judging. Okay, now of course we're gonna, you know, judge certain situations, but there can become a point in time where you're judging people too harshly because there may be something you received, okay, maybe something you fully understand, but that person may not understand it, okay, and then you start going into this mindset of you know, you need to get it together. I don't know what you know, I don't know what you nigga, you ain't got it yet, you know. Especially especially considering if you examine yourself and there's something else that you may not, be on that level with, that you can work on. Okay. And then, just because you mastered a certain topic, or you mastered a certain aspect of your life, and this person has not mastered it, okay, or they don't see it quite yet, you can't really hop on them, for not seeing certain things if it's been shown in other aspects that the Lord is dealing with this man. Okay, so let's continue. For one believeth that he may eat all things, another who is weak eateth herbs. Now, of course, going into being weak, this can be physical. Okay, and this is definitely an aspect of it, is being physical. Okay, but let's get this word.
Strong's G 770. Astheneo.
Now it says here, him that is weak in the faith receive ye, but not to judging in this. You know what I'm saying? If there's someone weak in the faith, then you got to receive them. Okay, to be weak, feeble, to be without strength, powerless. To be weak, it means needy, poor. To be feeble, to be sick, imperfect. Okay, to be weak, without strength, powerless. When I am weak, human strength, strong. Okay, let me see. Boom. Right, to be weak, feeble, sick folks. Now the scriptures talk about being feeble and sick, and those that are feeble, I'm saying, that you gotta be a man. There's a balance. The scriptures say put off the weak nature. Okay, and it also says strengthen the feeble knees, which is a part of a precept that I read earlier. So you don't want to stay in this state. Okay, but the fact is that there will be certain younger brothers underneath us that won't be as built up, and we can't really judge them harshly as you get down when you get to Romans 1, and when you get to Romans 14:4, which that's 1:4:4. Okay, let's just continue reading. For one believeth that he may eat all things, another who is weak eateth herbs. Okay, so yes, when you're sick, it's best to eat herbs. If you're having digestional problems, drink you a smoothie. It'll help you. Okay, put you some greens in there, do what you got to do, and jazz it up. Okay, but also there's one who's weak in the faith, who does not realize that he can eat certain things, because during that time they had the shambles. In the shambles there were things sold into there. There's a reason it says, okay, it talks about what you buy at the shambles, right? And it says for consciousness sake, right? 1 Corinthians 10:25 says, whatsoever is sold in the shambles, that eat, asking no question for conscience sake. Why? Because if you're gonna go and buy some food from the shambles, these people was in a Greek state of mind. These people were sacrificing the idol. So you would have had to, for consciousness sake, just buy the food, pray over it, and eat it. Buy the food, pray over it, cook it, and eat it. Okay, because if you would have asked them, well, did you sacrifice to the God to a God, and they would have told you, then now, if you don't have enough faith, strengthen up and built up enough, now because your conscience is defiled and you know that it's been sacrificed to an idol, and you have not received that what you need to receive, now you're defiled in your own conscience because this has been sacrificed to Shiva. You steady eating it like, well, shit, and it's fucking with you the whole time. But the scriptures say that which is done without faith, okay, is sin. Okay, and it goes into that. Let's just continue Romans 14. So like just tying it back in with being mindful of these things, of the aspect of there being weaker brothers who can't deal with certain things. You may have a certain aspect to your personality that the Lord gave you, okay, that everybody can't accept or deal with, and you just have to be mindful of that, okay, and walk accordingly. Romans 14:3. Okay, let not him that eat despise of him that eateth not, and let not him which eateth judge him that eateth, for the Most High receiveth them. So there's a dynamic that happens where one person may decide that they don't want to, let's say rap music, let's say music in general. Now we know music is defiled here, okay, especially the types of music that Jake listens to nowadays. Now you may have some brothers who say, I can listen to it, I feel like I'm at a point in my spirit where I can listen to this music. And then you may have brothers that's like, I ain't listening to none of that shit, man. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? And so we know that these songs are prayed over and sacrificed unto demons. Okay, so that brother who's partaking of it, who feel like he's built up enough to partake of these songs, okay, he can't despise the brother who said he ain't listening to it. No, bitch, hey, you talking about you ain't gonna listen to me? I'm gonna listen to my, you know what I'm saying? And likewise, the guy who's like, I would rather not put that in my spirit, can't judge the man who decided he's gonna partake because of the liberty that he has to be able to do so. You see, all things are lawful, but all things are not expedient. But you can't judge if a brother's doing something as long as it's not going off. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's not a sin necessarily. It's not a sin to listen to rap music. It's just not what's the word? It's not recommended. Okay? But if that's what you want to do, all right, you know, that's you. You know, I got songs on my stuff. Every time I listen to them, I'll be like, man, this is some bullshit, but I got them. You know, so that's just an example I want to give, you know. And then I can't despise somebody because they don't want to do it. You know, there are certain liberties we know we have in the scriptures, okay, that the Lord is not mad about, okay, but due to situations and so on and so forth, brothers tend to abstain from certain things, okay, and so just because a brother chooses to abstain from something that is maybe just because you chose that you ain't gonna do something that is maybe lawful but maybe not expedient for yourself, and you see somebody else doing it, well, you can't get mad at them or you be judging them all harshly because they want to do it. All right, that's them. That's their walk with the Most High. And in your conscience, if you said that you're not going to do certain things, then that's you in your walk with the Most High. Verse 3, let not him. Verse 4, who art thou that judgest another man's servant? To his own master he standeth or falleth. Yea, he shall be holding up, for the Most High is able to make him stand. So you may see somebody that's being weak, or whatever the case may be in certain aspects. You can exhort them and do these different things. Okay, admonish them. Yes, this is good. But like I said, you can't force the course of the river. If there's something that a brother can't see and you trying to force it on him right then, you know, then that's not, as long as they ain't going off, it is what it is, you know. Everybody can't receive everything, and especially younger brothers, man, they have to go through certain shit before they realize, damn, that brother was right. He was right. I didn't understand why he told me that, but now I get it. You know, this is a dynamic that has to be thought about when we're dealing with people. We're dealing with differences and opinions and personalities here, and it can be very difficult to deal with. Okay, you know what I mean? Look at Moses. He was like, damn, Lord, is these my kids? Look at all the stuff Moses was dealing with. He was like, these is not my kids. I ain't had these people. I ain't birthed them. Okay, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna go over here. 1 Corinthians 8:1 says, now as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth. If any man think if he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing yet as he ought to know. But if any man love the Most High, the same is known of him. Okay. As concerning therefore the things of these, the eating of those things that are offered in sacrifice unto idols, we know that an idol is nothing in the world, and that there is none under power but the Most High. Okay, but one. For though there be that call gods, whether in heaven or on earth, there be many gods, blah blah blah, lords many. But unto us there is but one power, the Father, of whom are all things, and we in him, and the one Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, by whom are all things, and we by him. Okay. Verse 7, howbeit there is not in every man that knowledge. For some with conscience of the idol unto this hour eat it as a thing offered unto an idol, and their conscience being weak is defiled. You see? So there are certain things that brothers, I'll just put it this way. There are certain things that are lawful, and that a person who does these things are not going off for doing them. But when it comes to younger brothers who may not have been receiving of that certain knowledge, okay, and you have to be wary of what you expose certain brothers to. Every brother can't receive everything, okay? Even Yahushua put forth certain things and things that he said where it says every man cannot receive this same. And it's true. There are certain things that every man cannot receive. For example, that scripture that says, save for the cause of, what does it say? If it be better the case, if the case of the man be so. Matthew 19 and 9, and I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, committeth adultery, and whoso marrieth her which is put away doth commit adultery. His disciples say unto him, if the case of the man be so with his wife, it is not good to marry. But he said unto them, all men cannot receive this saying, save they to whom it is given. For there are some eunuchs which were born from their mother's womb, and there are some eunuchs which are made eunuchs of men, and there be eunuchs which have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake. He that is able to receive it, let him receive it. Okay, so there be some men that from their mother's womb they haven't had sex with women. That's a lot. They haven't had sex with a woman. Okay, and then there's some men, okay, which were made eunuchs of men. They were employed to that position by a king. You're going to be my eunuch. Okay, you're going to be my priest, or whatever the case may be. And there be eunuchs which have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven. They decided, like Paul, he made himself a eunuch for the kingdom of heaven's sake, so that he may attend to the work. He that is able to receive it, he that can fill out that measure of being without a woman, okay, let him do that. Let him receive it. All right, so everybody can't receive everything. It's not put in everybody's spirit to receive everything, okay? And the Salaki for the slip up, slipping with the tongue but not with the heart. All right, I was trying to say a lot real quick and I messed up, but all right, as you see, okay, so everybody can't receive everything, and like I said here, okay, howbeit there is not in every man that knowledge, for some with conscience unto the idol, as we read it. You see, verse 8, but meat commendeth us not to the Most High, for neither if we eat are we better, neither if we eat not are we the worse. So a man's not, there are things that are lawful that are not expedient, but if a man can balance it out in his life and do those different things, then it's not going off. Okay, but let's continue. Verse 10, for if any man see thee which has knowledge sit at meat in the idol's temple, shall not the conscience of him which is weak be emboldened to eat those things which are offered unto idols? So it's best for certain things that you do, okay, to not be put out there for the forefront for those who are weak in the faith, who don't understand certain things, so for them to see it, because they can't receive it. Everybody can't receive your liberty. You see, verse 11, and through thy knowledge shall the weak brother perish, for whom Hamashiach have died. So you may be justifying something that you're doing, but you don't want to put that forth as a stumbling block in front of somebody who may be young in the faith, maybe young in the spirit, and haven't understood, haven't experienced these different levels. The Lord have not revealed these things to them. Okay, and by you taking the liberties that you have to be charitable by being mindful of how you behave in front of different brothers, man. You see? Verse 11, and through thy knowledge shall the weak brother perish, for whom Hamashiach died. Matter of fact, verse 10, if any man shall not the conscience of him be weak, which is weak, be emboldened to eat those things which are offered unto idols. So you already know what the deal is. I can do this, I can do that. It ain't unlawful. Okay, but that person who may be weak can't receive that. And so in their mind, you see, in their mind it's a sin. And through thy knowledge shall the weak brother perish, for whom Hamashiach died. But when ye sin so against the brethren and wound their weak conscience, ye sin against Hamashiach. That's heavy. That's heavy. When you sin so against the brethren and wound their weak conscience, you sin against Hamashiach. Okay, so it's saying that you're sinning against a brother because you're laying a stumbling block before him by not perceiving that maybe I should hold this back. Maybe I shouldn't say this. Maybe I shouldn't do this in front of this guy because he can't receive that. Verse 13, wherefore if meat make my brother to offend, I will eat no flesh while the world standeth, lest I make my brother to offend. Okay, let's go here, back to Romans 14. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, no. Got it. Romans 14 and 10 says, but why dost thou judge thy brother, or why dost thou set at naught thy brother? For we shall stand before the judgment seat of Hamashiach, as it is written, as I live, save the Lord, every knee shall bow to me, and every tongue shall confess to the Most High. Okay, so then every one of us shall give account of himself to the Most High. Let us not therefore judge one another anymore, but judge this rather, that no man put a stumbling block or an occasion to fall in his brother's way. I know and am persuaded by the Lord Yahushua that there is nothing unclean of itself, but to him that esteemeth anything to be unclean, to him it is unclean. Now, of course, this ain't speaking of meats, all right? Of course, these ain't speaking of the things where the Lord said, these things are not clean, these are unclean animals, these are abominations. That's not what this is talking about. Okay, that's not what this is talking about. There are still sins unto death. This is not telling you can sin. Adultery is still spoken negatively about. These are one of those hard sayings that Paul spoke about. But there are things that are lawful unto me, but they are not expedient. Okay, things that brothers can do that they maybe shouldn't do on this side, such as having another wife. If you can do that, more power to you, but it's not expedient in this time because we got more attending to this truth to do than to have more than one woman. And one woman is enough of a handful than to try to be dealing with multiple women and trying to take care of them and do this and do that and the different things that come with that. Okay, so that's an example of something that's lawful but not expedient. Okay, all right, let's continue. Okay, let us 13. Let us not therefore judge another, but judge rather that no man put a stumbling block or an occasion to fall in his brother's way. I know and am persuaded by the Lord Hamashiach. Okay, but like I said, but to him that esteemeth anything to be unclean, to him it is unclean. So a person's conscience being defiled, okay, if a person's conscience is defiled, you see, and they do something because they got emboldened to do it because they saw your example, then you've officially laid a stumbling block in front of a brother. Okay, you know, so we have to be mindful of it. It's nothing wrong with being a very honest person and wanting to share the things that you do, but you have to be mindful of with whom the company you keep and the company that you're sharing certain things in front of. You have to be able to gauge your audience. You see, you may be in a conference call with someone, with some brothers. You may be in a 3-way, 4-way call with brothers, and there may be a brother that you have to be able to perceive. But if I speak about this topic, he ain't gonna be able to receive that. You see, so let me go over here. You know, let's divide this conversation up because that brother can't receive this right now. You know, it's all about discernment, man. Okay, for he that in these things, let me see, serveth Hamashiach is acceptable to the Most High and approved of men. Let us therefore follow after the things which make for peace and things wherewith one may edify another. For meat destroy not the work of the Most High. There you go again with that. Salat. Okay, and I don't mean to the scriptures. I just was trying to get to the thing that I really wanted, you know, because I know this lesson's already probably long as a mug. Hell yeah, 45 minutes. Damn, homie. Oh, it's a lot. I have to throw some music behind this joint or something. I'm trying to get this one scripture, then I'm gonna wrap it up. Basically, okay. I'm sure I probably passed it, but I'm gonna just grab it. Okay. Yeah, okay. Romans 14 and 23. I know I got it open. Romans 14, so there's more. Okay. Okay, Consulat. Romans 14. Okay, and 21 says, it is good neither to eat flesh, nor to drink wine, nor anything whereby thy brother stumbleth, or is offended, or is made weak. So basically what Paul is saying is it's good to deny yourself, okay, for the benefit of others. And this is why it started off this chapter, if I'm not mistaken. It was this chapter. No, it wasn't this one. It was the 1 Corinthians one. But they tie in perfectly. 1 Corinthians 1 says, now as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth, because it's easy to get into a mindset of, well, I'm justified. I can do this thing. There's nothing, I can do it. But charity is what edifies. Being conscious of the person who may not be able to receive it, and if they may mention it to you, you know, just being able to understand, like, okay, this brother may not be able to receive that right now, you know. And like it says, okay, So though you may have those liberties, if you're dealing with that particular brother, what is Paul's mindset towards it? It says it is neither good to eat flesh nor drink wine nor anything there whereby thy brother stumbleth or is offended or is made weak. Hast thou faith? Have it to thyself before the Most High. Happy is he that condemneth not himself in that thing which he alloweth. And he that doubteth is damned if he eat, because he eateth not of faith. For whatsoever is not of faith is sin. So, if a brother gets emboldened to do something that he's not quite sure about because of something that you might have pushed on him or did in front of him that could have been avoided, then you're causing them to sin, because them having doubt doing those same things is counted as a sin unto them. All right. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. Like I said, once again, Lord willing, that was edifying. Salakia for the lengthy lesson. I was trying to find a precept that kind of added time, but maybe I'll edit it out. We'll see. But with that, I want to say Shalom. Wa Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rachaha Kodash, Barakatham to the sincere listeners. Shalom.